Squad! Where? How's it going, Squad Nation? It's your boy Play, and today we are back with another video today, guys, and we're actually talking about solo leveling. Yes, the series that pretty much blew up in popularity during the time when God of High School and Tower of God and many other webtoon comics that was like about to get anime adaptation by Crunchyroll. And a lot of people was actually thinking that Solo Leveling was going to get anime adaptation, but eventually it never happened. But that's not saying that cannot happen. But I digress. If you guys want to know what happens in season 1, I want you to go and check out my review for season 1. I'll probably have a link in the description or even in the comments down below. But continuing and pretty much giving you like a short synopsis, basically what pretty much Solo Leveling is all about is the weakest hunter ever, Sung Jin Woo, pretty much becomes the most powerful hunter overnight after having an outer body experience in a double dungeon and pretty much reawakening and having abilities that he never even once had before, and plus leveling up and gaining more power as he progresses. And to pretty much carry over to what happens in season 2 and possibly the season finale or series finale, I should stress. I'll get into that in a minute. Sung is pretty much, doing what he can, pretty much leveling up and blase. Now, a bunch of exposition happens, but the main focus of this entirety of season 2 is pretty much the monarchs and what these monarchs are. Pretty much they're gods, and they pretty much are very, 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 very bad, and they are very, very freaking dangerous. And apparently these monarchs are around in anybody and anyone, pretty much. Like, their powers or their latent abilities are laid dormant in a person, and they can only be reawakened by a human being or something like that of a certainty. And pretty much Sung also has this monarch that pretty much is laid dormant up until now, and this monarch is actually Ashborne, the monarch of shadows. And pretty much through Ashborne's memories, we get an idea of why or what has been going on, and more specifically Ashborne's mission in all of this. Apparently Ashborne was pretty much literally God's right-hand man, and pretty much he realized that the monarchs pretty much assassinated the god, and in doing so Ashborne was furious and decided to, gain vengeance. And Ashborne was given the legit god half of his power to pretty much, even stand a chance against most of the monarchs. Ashborne was somewhat successful in defeating the monarchs, but only just delaying the inevitable. And pretty much all the monarchs, including Ashborne, lay dormant in multiple bodies, passing down from generation to generation, all the way up until this moment of time where the hunters were born, and pretty much the hunter era and everything else along with it. So to give you guys a short summary of what happens of season 2, the Monarch War happens. Sung Jin Woo pretty much not only awakens to the power of Ashborne's powers, but also both their consciousness be fused into one. But Sung is the more dominant person in the entire grand scheme of things, and pretty much destroys the freaking monarchs. Not once, but actually twice. And here's why. Apparently, after the monarchs have been defeated, the rulers, which is pretty much like angels or some shit, come down from the heavens and pretty much congratulate Sung from defeating the monarchs. But Sung has an actual request, and that request is to use the Cup of Reincarnation. What is that? What is the Cup of Reincarnation, you may ask? I'm glad you asked. It pretty much has the ability to wound back time. And Sung's whole plan this entire time was to wound back time all the way up until before the hunters or the dungeons, the gates, or even the monarchs were ever a thing, or before the monarchs ever have a chance to invade Earth. And the reason why Sung is doing this is because he realized that so many people have been killed, have been hurted, and some have even been taken advantage of during this whole hunter era that they pretty much lived in. And the monarchs pretty much tripled that 10 times worse. So Sung wants to go back in time to wants to kill all the monarchs a second time, and pretty much grant the world peace from the monarchs. And the rulers were hesitant. They was like, you sure about that? Keep in mind, even if you do use the Cup of Reincarnation to wound back time, though no one's ever going to remember this accomplishment. And even if someone does remember, it will just be the monarchs, and the monarchs pretty much want you dead. So they will find any type of anything to try to freaking counter anything that you throw at them. So are you sure you really want to freaking go along with this? And even if you don't manage to, your world will be in more of a shit than anything else. Sung is pretty much confident. He's like, yes, rewound back time. And Sung rewinds back to time to when he was actually a child. And he's has sort of how many 2 to 3 years, 5 years, 6. I think he was 10 years until the monarchs have a chance to even invade. So Sung as a child still has Ashborne's abilities and powers and all this other stuff and potential. He actually goes to this dimension where the monarchs are pretty much laid in hiding, waiting for the time to, rise and pretty much, conquer the world again. Sung goes in and pretty much defeats the monarchs a second time and comes back out of the little realm of the monarchs, and it's kind of funny because the fortune teller who actually pretty much saw that Sung had infinite amounts of power and shit like that. She pretty much prophesied that Sung was gonna come back, but she didn't really say his name. She only described the being as death, which is insane. But Sung comes back. No one's well, people are waiting for him, but he makes sure that he's just hiding in plain sight. He literally gets out before anyone notices him. And no one but the rulers, the agent of the rulers, pretty much come out and pretty much greet him and tell him congratulations on defeating the monarchs a second time once again. Now, but it's not congratulations why the agent of the rulers are actually there. They're actually there to bring Sung out of Earth. The reason why is because Sung, with his power, has grown so immense that Earth cannot sustain it. Not only that, it could track more other beings from other worlds, from other dimensions and shit like that. So Sung being there would cause more problems than good. But Sung pretty much reluctantly stays because, his family's there, people that he cares about is there, and a certain love interest is also there waiting for him. Well, they're not waiting for him in spirit, but they are waiting from him by person, not by memory, but by, in physical body and being, whatever you like to call it. So Sung decides to stay and pretty much lives out the rest of his life as he sees fit. And that is pretty much the ending to season 2. And you're probably wondering, and throughout this entirety of this video, you're probably wondering, where are the panels, player? Come on now, look. I'm not trying to get Tappy Toon to kill me, okay? Tappy Toon will kill me if I post any freaking panel. I'll probably get away with showing just one panel like this. But that's pretty much it. If it's okay. Pretty much this panel was from the ending to season 2, where pretty much Sung Jin-woo pretty much came back and pretty much he meets up with Cha Ha-in, who pretty much was, before the Cup of Reincarnation, was an S-rank hunter who developed feelings for Sung during his time as when he was also upscaling up to above S rank, But anyways, that's pretty much it. And to this series as a whole, and possible to the season as a whole, solo leveling is freaking good. I'll give it a 9.5 for this entire series, if it is indeed the series finale. Because as far as I'm aware, the thing's on fucking hiatus, according to Tappy Toon. So Maybe they're gonna bring like season 3, possibly like, you know, more like context to the story. Who knows? Because I know that in the light novel, it pretty much gives like more context. Like pretty much Sung's a father now. He has a son. His son inherits abilities. Sung becomes a detective, which I like to see that. But all in all, Solo Leveling is pretty good, and I definitely do want it to have like an animated series at some point in present in time. But for now, I think this is a very good stopping point. Like, the future is endless now because Sung literally just rewrote history. But yeah. Also, now that I finished this webtoon, I can safely say why the fuck people kept on saying that like Sung can pretty much solo Goku, or pretty much literally destroy Goku. Like, hell, there was even people that said that Mori could, like, Sung could destroy Mori, which is insane. But now after reading this, I can safely say I can see why people are saying that. But not gonna get into this war. Not gonna get into the war. That's pretty much it. So like this video, comment down below if you have read Solo Leveling, what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Share this video across social media if you can, if you want to read Solo Leveling it for yourself. Again, I'll have the link in the description down below somewhere, so you guys can read it for yourself. You can read it on Tabitoon, or even on the the app web novel, which it's literally called web novel, which actually has Solo Leveling's light novel and the webtoon comic as well. So that's pretty much it. Like, comment, share this video across social media if you can, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. This is PlayerSex signing out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace!